Everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Thomas. Thanks for joining me here again today. Today's video is going to be another in my series on user experience reviews or mini case studies, whatever you want to call them. And I'm taking a look at the user experience of going to a local boba restaurant called Happy Lemon. My family and I went there a couple weeks back and I just had a great experience overall there. So I wanted to share it with you today and take a closer look. Let's get into it. All right, first off, before we get started here, if you have not had boba or bubble tea as they call it, then you need to press stop on this video right now. You need to go out and get some, and you need to thank me later when you're watching the video later because it is absolutely delicious. It's one of my favorite treats out there, and my daughters turned me onto this a couple years ago, and ever since then I've been absolutely addicted. So boba places have been popping up all around Denver the last couple years, as I'm sure they have in many metro areas. It's very popular right now, very trendy, and very delicious, and it's a unique dining experience. It's not something you find in your traditional restaurant. There's a lot of bright colors, there's usually music playing, there's usually a bright atmosphere. It's just a lot of fun to be there, and it's an interesting user experience for every visit, which is part of what I wanted to talk about today. So this is something you might not think of as a traditional user experience in the modern world, but let me reassure you, if you've watched all the other videos on my channel, I love to preach about user experience being in absolutely everything. It's in the washer and dryer in your laundry room and the knobs and the digital dials that are on there. It's in the hard plastic stuff that you get off Amazon that you have to rip open and cut your fingers. It's in your favorite snack and how it's designed, the physical food itself. User experience can be in absolutely everything, including restaurants, which is what we're looking at today. You might think of traditional UX in a dining experience being something like the graphic design of a menu. Is it clearly laid out? Is it clearly labeled? How's the food photography? Does it look engaging and delicious, or is it all washed out and gross looking? Or maybe it's the menu or the signage or the billboard out front. All of those things build up to your more traditional UX in a dining experience, but so are things like the music that's playing when you walk in. Is there a nice ambiance and atmosphere around you when you walk in the front door? Do you feel welcomed? Or things like smells. Does it smell like floor cleaner, or does it smell like delicious waffles? Or maybe when you walk up to the counter, you're being treated like a number or an annoyance and you don't feel happy to be there. If you're not being treated like someone that's supporting a local business or they are excited to have you there as a customer, that all builds towards this user experience of any dining visit. So there's probably hundreds of these places up in Denver right now, and we all have our favorites as a family, but this has probably made its way into our top three. It's just absolutely delicious and a phenomenal user experience overall. When you first walk in, you get this great smell of this really tasty smelling waffle. I think they pump it into the atmosphere out around the restaurant, kind of similar to how Burger King and others do, where they pump that smell out around the restaurant. If you haven't heard about that, look it up. But it's to draw customers in. When you first walk in, you just get this great smell. Their website, actually, now that I look at it and take a closer look, is probably one of my least favorite experiences with this restaurant because it's just not very modern. I'm not sure if they use something just kind of like a template builder on this or what, but this is probably the only knock on their entire user experience that I would have as a suggestion for improvement. When you walk in, the design aesthetics are really on point. There's a lot of whites and blacks being used with a lot of high contrast yellows, which just serves to really pop designs off the walls. They use a lot of graffiti as their fonts, which is cool. And they use a lot of plants and things like that to just bring life into the establishment. And they have this really cool little lemon character, which I always appreciate when businesses do. Just brings a lot of personality to the business and the establishment, which is always nice. The lights in the ceiling are modern LEDs with a cool design aesthetic to them. The packaging on the bags that they give you when you leave, it's just a nice overall whole package to the place, and it goes a long ways to making a great user experience on the interior of the building. They also had a modern mix of music playing in the background, which is great. It was like a mix of alternative and rap. Just helps add some liveliness to the place, kind of drowns out that white noise in the restaurant, makes everybody happy to be there. They can kind of dance along to the music. So that was pretty cool. And then when you walk up to the customer service counter, I'm not even kidding. I feel like that was some of the best customer service I've had in a long time. Everyone had smiles on their face. They just seemed happy to help you and explain anything that you needed to know. I got some free samples. So overall, a plus on the user experience with the ambiance, the music, and the customer service at the counter. These small little details build up to a larger user experience. The things like the smells in the restaurant, the music that's playing, how you feel and how you're treated as a customer when you come into the restaurant, the comfortability of the seats, all of these things. And on top of it, if you have delicious food or delicious boba, you're going to keep people coming back and you're going to keep them recommending your establishment to their friends and family. So if you're a Denver local or you happen to be stopping by to visit friends and family, make sure you check this place out. You won't regret it. Delicious boba, delicious food, and a great overall user experience. I hope you enjoyed this mini UX case study review and got some value out of this. If you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit that bell if you want to be notified of future videos. And until the next one, I will see you then.